And welcome to our weekly spaces. I'm waiting for Sir PT to take his position as a co host. Sir PT, can you hear me? Please press the co host button. Welcome, Logan. Welcome, Daily Meme. Welcome, Pope. Welcome, Yomi. Nice to see you. Welcome, Blondie, Bossman. Love to see you all. Let's see. Sir PT's co host. Great. Hello, hello. Welcome, ETH Raider. So this was an exciting week. We went through the first week of public beta testing. I believe it's been 50 or 60, maybe even more. So PT will tell us, and will tell us also a few numbers of what actually happened, how the users interact with the system, how much money they made, how much volume they generated, and such. So we want to look at some numbers. We also want to look at what's going to happen in the next few days and weeks to come. We're going to talk about the Exception Sniper tool that is currently being tested to the T in order to get it functioning and ready, hopefully, for the public release, which is also scheduled very, very soon. So we're going to talk about that as well. Welcome, everyone, to today's Spaces. Sir Petit, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I think the better question is, can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
Awesome. That's great. Nice to be here.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I don't. Some people may have been there. We had a Grand Space last week with Dcard together, a partnership that was just generated like a week or so ago, which was quite exciting to be there on their space and say hi to their community. They looked at Accept. I loved the questions and the comments that came from their community as well. Obviously, you can see a lot of hype is being generated by the alpha testers. They're sharing their MEV results. They're sharing whenever they're getting their notifications. They're sharing what they're, how much money they're making. And so I'm curious to know how much volume and how much rewards has the contract so far actually given back to people, and what's happening there currently. That would be my first question to you.
Sure. So right now we are getting some actual correct data in from our data scientist, and excuse me,
Don't you love the word data
and
scientist, man? This is such a professional project. We even have our own data scientists.
it's wild. And the data that's being produced is very informative to us, very useful for our project. And the numbers that we had so far were preliminary and on our own data, but now we're again really professional data statistics. And if we look at the MEV rewards that have been handed out, or well, earned actually by users by approving their tokens to our MEV contract, that's sitting at 2.55 ETH for the last 7 days.
That's not
And
bad. That's actually not bad for just how many users are there right now? Active users.
well, it's I think less than 2 dozen of active users on the MEV bot. Of course, we onboarded and whitelisted groups of users last week, and are doing so right now. And then there, different users have different levels of activity, obviously. And we have
Right.
some hardcore users really understanding the tools and really finding the best opportunities, and that's noticeable because some users get a couple of MEV transactions, and um, uh, some really somehow make it rain. So that's great.
That's very cool, I would say. Very cool. So, how much does that translate in volume on a contract?
Um, on actual MEV contract, there's no volume tracked for that at the moment. Or do you
Okay.
mean the router volume?
Yeah, yeah, router volume.
Router volume, yeah. So we have so far collected on the router volume 0.63 ETH, and that equates to about 163 ETH of volume for the last 7 days. and given the average ETH price of for the last 7 days around $3,600 or so, that's almost around 600K, maybe slightly less, for since beta opening 7 days.
600K in volume since beta open. Huh? That's I think that's pretty significant because let's compare that to the time period where it was just alpha testers to now. How does that compare?
That's funny that you should mention that. It during the alpha testing, and I think we did alpha test mid-December or so until last week. Um, the volume that was generated and the average price, it, obviously the dollar amount is might be slightly off, but I think it's around 900K or to $1 million on average volume. But I'm sure I might be we can expect some data on that for the exact number.
Do you want to share? Maybe we can just share some of the pictures from the data scientist that she just gave in the team chat, huh? That'll be interesting
Yeah,
to see.
yeah, sure. There will be a team member available to share that in the Telegram chat, and that's interesting. So uh, uh, basically, we did uh, let's say 900K of volume in alpha testing, and in 7 days we did 600K, which is a very good average per user um, on the bot, and we really want to keep that in momentum for the next onboarded user. Get that high volume for the active users, the volume per user.
That's really
I see
amazing.
you
Really
yeah, I
amazing.
see you posted something here. The
I
yeah
just
the yeah the amount of MEV bundles and transactions from users per day, and you see that's slightly going up, and the daily rewards that's getting higher as well. For the rewards earned for the last 2 days was around zero point 0.6 ETH on for the beta testers. And obviously, this will grow as more users start onboarding and we gain more efficiency and start combining transactions with from different users or on different tokens. So there's a lot of upside potential.
excellent, excellent. So how are we doing as far as like onboarding goes? So I know last week we spoke and you onboarded about 50 or some people. How has this progressed? Has the is the number increasing? How are you going about the onboarding process? I just saw someone in the community asking. They got a message from the exception bot saying, "Hey, they are now activated." So how does the activation process actually unfold right now?
Yeah, we chose for an onboarding batches of 50 users per day. And we just, prior to this space, onboarded the next batch of 50 users or provided access and sent a push message to the users. And the reason we do so with 50 per batch is basically that we spread out a little bit for the questions and support, because the system and the infrastructure can handle the amount of users. It's just that we want to, when a user comes into the bot, starts using the tool, might have questions, and then we can really, there's a learning curve to the bot a little bit. It's not rocket science, but it looks a little bit different. There are new tools in there that users haven't used before, so they can come into the support chat, ask some questions, and then as we go through these phases, we'll have other community members learning the tools, and they'll be able to help out other users with their questions in the public chat as well.
Right. That's yeah, that's good. That's how it's supposed to go. And okay, so I mentioned that in the introduction. when will the full public actually be able to expect to be onboarded? Because you're doing it in batches in the background, so it might be that throughout the next 2 or 3 weeks everybody just gets activated. Is that how it is?
Yeah, exactly that. So we'll increase the batch amount for the next following weeks, and obviously we have a list of people that are waiting to be batched in. They're on the waiting list based on their referrals, and at some point you run through that list, and exactly like you mentioned, at that point it won't make sense to wait the next group of people to be batched in. We can just open up.
Got you. Got you. Very good. Okay. So one thing we mentioned last time we spoke, or mentioned, yes, we spoke about it just briefly, was the last missing piece, or one of the last missing pieces, is currently in the bot is the sniper element, right? The snipeception. How far is that
Yeah,
along in development?
that's pretty far actually. So we are able to snipe tokens already. Um, we're just having some settings that need to be tweaked and based on data as well. For example, if we want to see what the max transaction, max wallet amount is, for example, um, we need to see that, and then we can input the token amount to buy or the ETH amount to buy, accepted slippage, etc. Those are the things that we are finalizing and testing. So our first version of the sniper will be coming out very soon.
That's awesome. And I mean, I'm not very versed at sniping, but I was having some discussions with other people because I kind of wanted to know how it works and how Banana does it to be like always the first. And Maestro can't is not really able to squeeze itself in before. Why is that? And one of the answers I got is because, well, first of all, the Banana community is very close, and they bribe a lot, and they all get bundled together. And so then they get preferred because some of the bribes are insane. Like last week I saw someone bribing 14 ETH for a launch. So that means if we do a bundled sniper and we release a bundled sniper, we have the same edge that Banana has if we have the same community of people actually putting the bribes in, as far as I understand. And there might be a little edge that Accept has that Banana has not, from what
Yeah,
I understand. And maybe you can go into that a little bit more and explain that.
yeah, I agree. So in basic sense that if people mention that one sniper is faster than the other, oftentimes that's not due to the Telegram tech, etc. So it's um, the Telegram version of the sniper. That's all pretty much the same. Now it's exactly like you mentioned, is that if they bundle the snipes together and basically creating a very interesting bundle for the builder. Now, if 10 snipes from a one tool are bribing one ETH each to the builder, which would equate to 10 ETH, and the other tool would have five that are bribing to 5 ETH. Which bundle would you take as a builder? I would definitely take the 10 ETH bundle and include that in the block, and the other ones they have failed snipes or get bundled after the other tool. Now, I would say that when all things are equal in comparison to other tools, same amount of users, same amount of users that are trying to snipe a token, and same amount of bribes in that case, I would even argue that we have an edge over the other tools. And that's just basically because we have an MEV tool. And now imagine that if we have on every block or every other block an MEV transaction going through, um, and we bundle that with a group of snipes that basically offers us one tool does 10 snipes, 1 ETH each. We would do 10 snipes, 1 ETH each. They're basically equal. However, we include an MEV transaction as well with the gas priority fees attached to that. So basically, our bundle would be more interesting to the builder in that case, and not taking into account any all the marketception transactions that we have as throughput. So I would argue that when we scale our ecosystem, we would have an edge.
Well, that's a very good answer. And I think that's going to be, you know, when it comes down to these milliseconds and when it comes down to these very fine little nuts and bolts in
Yeah.
this super fast moving, you know, blockchain sniping space, people will just choose whatever tool has the edge. And so I think we're in a good position. That was a great answer. Okay. So yesterday,
Exactly.
go ahead.
No, exactly. It's because the users are looking for, I would assume right now at the top of my head, mostly convenience and easy user experience, but also a very effective tool getting in first. And that's just how it is. So we need to scale our ecosystem to make that work for users and providing them the MEV opportunities to lower their cost basis while they do their thing.
Nice. Nice. Yesterday I attended to Spectra AI
Yeah.
spaces, and I just stumbled into. Honestly, I saw it somewhere. I was like, "Oh, this," you know. Rich told me about it, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna join." I ended up saying hi, and they ended up teasing the partnership with Accept, and then made it public. That's a pretty cool partnership. I was actually quite impressed of what they're building, and now I understand this will be integrated into the exception tool. I know there's going to be a space for it, so I don't want to take all the steam out for that space. But I just want to maybe get a little hint or a little teaser of what that partnership entails for exception users down the road.
Um, sure. I've spoken to the founder of Spectre quite often lately. I'm a very big fan of Spectre and the tool that they are building. I've seen some insights, and it's truly insane. Haven't seen that in before in any other project. So we're very grateful to be able to create this type of synergy between the tools. Now it would be a multi-layered a partnership that we roll out over time. But to lift some up of the curtain, if you check out what they are doing, their AI prediction markets, for example, and other tools, that could be very useful for traders. And if you would have that at your fingertips, it offers more value to a user.
Definitely, 100%. I mean, which tool? Wait 1 second. Just this thing is speaking to me. Which tool has these kind of integrated? Which trader tool actually has these kind of AI prediction tools integrated? That's gonna also be an additional edge to other trading tools. So quite like that.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
me
So
too. I can't wait for that.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I fully agree. I can't wait for that partnership to unfold.
Okay, so there was something else scheduled today. I believe it's a coin merge AMA or some coin merge space that we're going to be attending to in like an hour or something like that, right? So anybody that wants to join to that, they can join that. We're going to share the link in the Telegram group. And then what else is happening this week?
One interesting part is that you might know um, the very famous DEX trading bot War Dune Analytics, and you might see your favorite trading tool enter in that ranking soon with the analytics boards.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see it, and I'm very excited to see, how many actual users are actually there. Like last week, we mentioned quickly about how many on users are still pending. Let me just check how much we have now under referrals. So it says we have 13,000 people pending currently. 13,000 accounts. So it'll be interesting to see how many of these 13,000 accounts are actually going to use it and produce volume, how many are actually real, and then to see the volume that comes into the tool and also then flows back into the chart. All of that will be noticeable in the next few weeks as more and more people are being rolled into.
Exactly, and exactly. And I think our users and community members are our best advocates. I think you can see that as well, based on the excitement that has been spread by some beta users, noticing their rewards piling up, and the opportunities that they had. So I think this will only grow from here in terms of a obviously user onboarding, but that excitement as well that's being shared, because there's nothing more exciting than waking up with some notifications that you had some MEV opportunities, or after we roll out notifications for Marketception, that your Marketception transactions orders have hit.
Great. Yeah. So I think one last thing that I'd like to mention, which is quite interesting, when you have normally when you have these Telegram communities, you get these people asking when marketing. But now people are asking, when can I use it? When can I use it? Which is a much nicer question, right? So people are really excited about the utility. They can't wait to get their hands on it. And that's the right sentiment. And I think, when you look at the price action, it really reflects the excitement of people, and that's very healthy to see. So yeah, looking forward to see how things develop. Very happy to be here as always, and we'll talk very soon in the next space.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye.
Later.
Mavic, baby.